Hello everyone, I'm Hugo.
And I'm Jake, and this is my show.
Yeah, this is Jake Read Your Comments number 10?
10! We've done 10 of these things.
That's a lot of them.
That is...
Not as many as I've done Ask Hugo, though.
That is... Well, we started that first.
I know, so I'll always be ahead of you.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, so, here we go. Thomas Maximus on our Heaven is for Real review had an initial comment that essentially said, "You guys swear way too much, it makes you sound unintelligent," and that's what he doesn't like about atheists in general, is we're very crass.
Fuck you, Tom.
So I then said to him, that's a pretty broad statement to make about atheists.
And then you were snarky and said, like, ass, dick, fuck, suck, or something like that at the end.
So here's their response to that. Quote, "That's a pretty broad statement to make about all atheists," end quote.
This is, by the way, and this is Hugo speaking when he quotes.
Yep. The statement was a bit vague, I guess. Let me elaborate then. Atheist YouTube crusaders such as yourself show a lack of maturity. Is that better for you?
Okay,
Crusaders.
so let's take each one of these apart as we go.
Okay.
Yeah, Crusaders. Crusaders? Crusaders. Are we crusading?
No.
Have we ever had like a really vitriol-filled like campaign, like with anti-theism?
No, I don't.
No, what we do is we look at the Bible and we're like, that's stupid. That guy cut up his concubine and sent it to all the tribes of Israel.
Which is stupid.
Which is more stupid and more offensive than me saying, I would not want to fuck a butterfly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's crass, lowbrow humor we are guilty of, but
Totally.
that's because that's who Hugo and I are.
Yeah.
That's how we talk to each other.
Yeah.
But Crusaders, like...
No, I'm not trying to... I don't give a shit if you're religious.
It's a comedy show. 95% and 5% of it is based in the fact that we are atheists and we use the Bible as our lattice, basically.
Sure. And this is again something I said. Language is used to convey a message, and if saying fuck is how I choose... ... and I went to go on to say, if saying fuck is how I choose to do that, that's on me. That's how I choose to speak.
Right.
He says, "Thanks for the mini lesson on what language is. Lordy, lordy, I never would have known. It's a secondary case and has nothing to do with my comment." I was just trying to get the point across that just because we're using language like fuck and shit and ass, dick, balls, whatever, that's not the point. That is secondary to the message we were trying to get across.
Right.
I might say fuck, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Or I might say, that's fucking retarded. You know why? Because maybe something's fucking retarded. That's not...
Yeah.
What's important isn't the words I use, it's how I get them, what I'm trying to convey.
Right, and I mean, obviously there's a point where it's just too much, and I don't think we've ever breached that point.
No,
and if we have, we've probably looked back on that and went, I guess we could have gone at that a better way, but rarely do we think, like, we didn't represent ourselves correctly, because we're not, like, this isn't an act.
No.
Like, we're not characters. This is who you get when you meet us. Like, anyone from, like, the local SSA groups, they know. Yeah. This is us.
That's what we are.
We're goofballs, and we swear, and we're, rude, sort of.
Yeah.
And we say outrageous shit. Oh, see, I swore. I'm sorry.
So then they go on to quote me, yet again, "If you honestly can't get past some swear words," I then go on to say, if you can't get past the swear words, that's on you, not on us. He says, "Who said I couldn't? Where the fuck did I say I'm unable to do this? My point is, lacing your videos with them makes you look stupid. You're making atheists look bad. It's garbage like this that does nothing to advocate the cause."
Is that
okay? First of all, who said you couldn't? Well, you made a point.
Did, yeah.
You made a point of commenting on it, so that'd be you. And then you say, "When the fuck did I say I'm unable to do this?" Which makes me think, that's pretty hypocritical. Yeah. There's a fuck in that sentence.
There is at least one fuck.
At least one.
He could have
read between the fucking lines. My point is, lacing your videos with them makes you look stupid. I disagree because we don't need help looking stupid. We're already pretty stupid.
But also studies show that people who swear are more honest.
I don't even give a fuck about stuff like that. It doesn't matter. And you're making atheists look bad.
No, I think for all intents and purposes, we're the only ones out there really, like there's a handful of us that make atheists look good.
Like, I don't give a shit if people are religious. I'm not making fun of people. I'm not saying they're pieces of shit for being religious, and there certainly are atheists out there who do that.
I'm making douchebag atheists look bad, if that's the issue.
Yeah.
Then yes.
But I think we're doing pretty good.
Well, even.
See? Grammatical correctness.
Yeah,
Would a stupid person do that?
There you go.
Probably.
P.S.
Ass dick fuck balls makes no sense at all, because that's what I said to them in my PS. maybe dick balls or ass-licking dick balls, maybe be fuck-ass with dick balls.
Okay, I get it. He's trying to be cute. No, ass dick fuck balls is grammatically correct because that's a name. That is the name of Hugo's steed. Ass dick fuck balls, who is noble.
Dr. Ass dick fuck balls.
Right, but I mean, like, it's informal on the show, so he doesn't,
Anyway, by the way, there was a comment after this where he said, essentially, I don't have a problem with swearing. Who said I did? He reiterated that. If you didn't have a problem with swearing, you wouldn't have brought this up. You're just trying to look for something to complain about. And I'm not expecting everyone to like us. I get it. But at least have something legitimate, not just the swearing thing. Because if you're looking for an internet video where people don't swear all the time...
Green Bros.
Yeah, sure. They're really great.
Vsauce,
They're really great.
Those are the two.
I'd be interested to find... I don't think I've ever seen an atheist YouTuber who's more of a comedy slant that doesn't swear.
Well,
if you're looking for serious...
We're not fucking Jim Gaffigan. Like, no. We swear. We're not...
Even like Matt...
If we were comics, we're not clean comics.
No. Even like Matt Dillahunty, he doesn't swear as liberally as we do, but it's a different kind of thing. He's making, generally concise philosophical points or concise arguments.
But we're a comedy show.
We're a comedy show. We're just talking like normal people. This is how we talk. We're not doing this to... I want to say we're not doing this for your entertainment. We clearly are, but we're not like putting on an act.
Right.
This is just how we talk.
I hope you get pushed off. I hope you get pushed off a cliff by the person you trust most.
Interestingly, this was from a different Ask Hugo. Demonic Smoking Jacket says, it's refreshing to hear YouTube atheists that don't shout and swear and actually act in an informative manner. People like The Amazing Atheist are no better than their fire and brimstone street preachers counterparts.
So we get it from both sides, but we get this more.
Is that we're not super sweary, shouty, shout.
Right, and we actually have good points, and we try to be concise and fair when we can be, and...
Yeah.
This person's accurate because this is what we make a conscious effort to make sure we're not being too biased sometimes. Like, and sometimes we'll scale it back. We'll talk beforehand and be like, maybe one of us will say something that's a little bit too harsh or not harsh enough or whatever, and we critique each other. Yeah. And we've gotten a lot better at that since we started this show because we're better at conveying reasoned thought. Yeah. In a concise way. And so this is the kind of thing that just doesn't make sense to me. Like one guy's bitching and the other guy's like, "Yeah, you guys are great. Yeah, thanks."
Never do anything on the internet if you don't want to be criticized 70 times a day.
No. We get criticized so much. We get praised a lot more. Don't get me wrong.
At this point,
but like if you can't handle, like if you're gonna go into the comments and be like, "Fuck you, I'm right," and I you can't tell me how to run my channel. You're blocked. Like, just don't do that. Like, you got to be okay. It's the internet.
You got to take
Everyone's
that
a piece of shit here.
When we first started too, even like after like a year of doing it, man, the criticism hit me hard.
Did it? I mean, it never really hit me.
It's not even like
hard, but it sometimes it annoyed me when they would make comments like like the guy. There's a guy later in this. They'll be like, "I thought this was like a critical takedown of the Bible." Really?
Yeah, no.
You thought this was a critical takedown?
The thing about it too, it's not even like half the time it's not even a critique of the show. They're just like, these guys are dicks, which we are dicks, but it always hurts to hear.
This guy right here.
Hey, there he is. This comes to us from our very first episode of the show, the Atheist Bibles,
which is my least favorite thing we've ever done.
It's awful. If it wasn't because it was episodic, I would take it down.
I would consider it, but I think it's important to keep up our failures.
Yeah, that's fair.
When they're, it's not like we said something racist. It's just
it was a poor quality.
We're just, we use my external mic on this very laptop, so it's getting really old. And
Anyway, Jamie C. says, I was under the impression that this was going to be some professional-style dissection of the Bible. Disappointment. Yep. Disappointment. Couldn't watch past 7 minutes. Too much opinion and presupposition insertion.
Is this person a Christian or an atheist?
I don't think...
The use of the word presupposition makes me think it's an apologist.
Oh, I don't know. I'm impressed that they could make it 7 minutes into that episode, though. I can't watch 3 seconds of it without clicking back. It's terrible.
No, it's a bad one. I like the audio. Just besides the audio quality, I feel like we tried.
We tried.
It felt like we were trying.
Which sounds weird, but the biggest problem we could possibly make is trying harder. Than...
Yeah, no, what happened is we had been talking about doing this, and actually Hugo just showed me the very first Bible that we ever looked at together was his personal Bible, and he had it all highlighted and stuff, which was very actually cool, and we both signed it, and maybe someday we'll sell it to charity or something. But it felt like we were trying to make all of our points like immediately, and like we had tons of shit to say because we weren't used to having an outlet for it, but now we're just like, we get it, and we understand how the show works. Like that was the first recording. That wasn't the first episode. That was the first time we sat down and we're like, okay, here's the thing we do, and that's it.
Yeah, it's bad.
And we actually recorded episodes 2 and 3 on that same day and got rid of them after we got new mics. They were still headset mics, which are really shitty. And every time you could hear all the wind.
Ugh.
Yeah, see, even that bothered me. Because we have like pop filters, and I went around it to make that happen.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, fuck you, Jamie.
Also, the presuppositional thing. Like, what do you think apologists do?
Yeah,
anyway,
it's not. So, for the record, anyone, this is your first.
If you're looking for someone to like dissect, Bible skeptic.
We have mentioned him several times. Bible skeptic's the guy. Yeah. Also, I'd say Dillahunty, great job. Aaron Rod,
pretty much everyone other than us. Literally
that does Bible things. We're the only ones that do a comedy Bible thing. So
yeah, that's good. Probably not the only ones.
We're the only ones that are good at it.
Sure.
Boom. Gauntlet throw down or whatever. I don't know how duels work.
This is from our episode Bible Man Begins, and people always ask if we're going to do another Bible Man. Probably not. I'd say not because of I'm concerned about copyright at this point. We're big enough where copyright is something I need to be concerned about.
Well, even beyond that, even if we did it like we do the movie reviews, which is fine, we could totally do it that way. They're just so simple at this point. Like I have an issue with picking low-hanging fruit, which is why we don't do response videos.
Yeah.
And Bible Man's it's like ground fruit.
Yeah.
I don't know what fruit grows out of the ground. Raspberries, but without the thorns. It's like someone dropped a bushel of raspberries on the ground. That's Bible Man.
Juxtavarius says, found this channel about 2 weeks ago and I've now watched all the Chick Tracks Bible Studies movie reviews thus far. Neat. I would like to say thank you for all the background details on the things like the origins of words and the real-world history surrounding the events and making notes about translations. You guys really do a thorough job. Thanks for being awesome.
Aw, thank you for being
Skeletor. Thanks for being Skeletor.
An obsessive YouTube Skeletor.
Wow, that's a lot of us to listen to in that amount of time.
Yeah, that's which is kind of why I picked this comment. I know you guys marathon us sometimes, and I get it. Like we're relatively entertaining, but we're not Breaking Bad entertaining. Like what? Like are you already burnt out on all the good stuff out there, and then you just fell on us? Or and you got every time we say something like critical of ourselves, you guys are like, shut up, you're great.
No.
We're objectively okay. Oh, I mean, like...
On a good day. That's on a good day.
We're funny,
we put up a Chick Track the other day that I was like, this is shit. Let's upload it.
Did we?
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was Home Alone, right?
And people liked it. People liked the shit out of it. You people, you have very low standards. I have far higher standards for us than you do.
But as far as all the historical stuff, or contradictions, or translations, the translations are actually kind of easy because our Bible's annotated already.
Yeah.
So rarely do we have to go source that if we have questions about it.
At this point, I do a little research before each episode.
So do I. Hugo does it directly before, and I'll generally read it over.
I remember it better if it's fresh.
And also, I took a Bible class, the Bible as literature class, so I have my notes in my Bible when we read, so it's not as I don't know, laboring for me when we do this. But also, I have a lot of historical knowledge. Obviously, as my nature is a history one. So I don't know. I think we do a good job of trying
do our best
to lace in facts and stuff and fan theories, you know, like the Moses is a volcano story kind of thing, and just different apologetics we've heard and different counter arguments, and try to be like, if this was true, this is kind of where I think they were going with it, or try to give context as far as culturally.
I'll give us one thing. After doing this for almost 3 years now,
it's almost been 3 years. This July, right?
Yeah, we still try really hard. I think. We still care. We still want to.
I don't want to. Like, I don't think we've ever put out anything that we've never hate besides the first episode. But that was like when we did it,
we liked it.
Like, and I still think, for all intents and purposes, I think the content of that episode is fine. I think the points we make are correct. We could certainly do it better now, absolutely. But I mean, that's just part of the growing process, and that's why we haven't taken it down.
We had to make that episode in order to
get where we're at.
Yeah. So. But yeah.
Oh no. Thanks for watching the show, though.
Thank you,
it's
though.
Really
I do.
Great. You should also watch the God battles, which people ask about those all the time. We actually have gods. And we have some graphics for it, and we just never got around to it because it's kind of hard to do. And we got lucky with the first one that they actually turned out funny, because it really was just us having a debate, but we had to really learn about our things, so they're kind of cumbersome to do. But we hope to get back into it at least one more time. I also suggest the biblical conversations that must have happened that will also be making a return this year.
Will it?
Yeah,
that's good
because they're fun.
They are fun.
Anyways.
Thank you, though. This is from our review of God's Not Dead. We get a lot of comments on those movie reviews, and lots of
people are mad.
Lots of people get mad,
but it's called Atheists Watch Blank.
I know.
Why are you surprised when it's an atheist?
I think in those, we are so nice to those Christian movies and to Christians
in general. I agree. I don't think we've been overly critical at all of any of them.
And 99% of the time when we're criticizing in those, it's the movie itself. We're making fun of the movie, not necessarily religion in general. Though we do some of that, still we're not being mean to the religious people.
I think we're as fair as we possibly can be.
Yeah,
and sometimes we get shit for it. Actually,
we're the fairest I've ever seen an atheist review a Christian movie
consistently.
And I've seen other atheists do Christian movies, and they overdo it.
You believe in God?
Yeah, I'm not interested in doing anything like that.
It's a slam piece. It's boring.
Yeah, Carolyn Foot, or is it Foot?
It's Foot. I had a teacher with that same last name. I hope they're related because I hated her. I really did. I hated her. I hope she's a dead person. She was old.
Would people stop calling the professor an atheist? He was an anti-theist. Well, yeah, yes.
He could be both.
He was, but the movie calls him an atheist.
Also, a lot of comments correctly labeled him as a mesotheist, which means someone who hates God and actively believes in him, but denies or denounces him.
Yeah. We call him an atheist in the video, though, because that's what the movie paints him as.
Exactly.
Thanks. Also, atheist, please leave Christianity alone and get over other people's religion and just go live your life doing something meaningful to you.
Well, this is meaningful to me. I love this show. I love making people laugh. And
this is our job, too.
I love having entertainment. I like hanging out with Hugo. This is the most meaningful thing. This is the best job I've ever had in my whole life. Easily.
Me too.
So continue.
Because it all seems like right now is you're washing it to bring...
Wasting it. But spelled wasting wrong. Wasting like right. your hips.
Because all it seems like right now is you're wasting it to bring people down with their faith, when that faith is there to keep them going. Sorry, this is kind of hard to read.
Yeah, we're just basically, you get it. Pretty much, why don't you just enjoy life?
I do.
And why you gotta be mean to people that have faith? We're not mean to people that have faith. I have Christian friends. I have a really good friend of mine whose dad is a pastor, and he's pretty religious. I mean, that's the thing. I don't give a shit if you're religious, but I don't have to not make fun of the religion itself. I'm not making fun of you, but the idea that 2,000 years ago a carpenter was the son of a god and died and came back, that is funny, and I can make fun of that. Don't take it personally. If you do, that's sorry, but I'm not making fun of you just because you believe it. I just think you're wrong. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. But yeah, and as far as enjoying life and just making the most of life, most atheists not necessarily enjoy life, but at least try to make the most of it. If they're in good mental health, because we consider this to be our only shot.
Yeah, I think when I became an atheist, I became happier.
Absolutely. I'd say maybe not at first. Maybe at first you're a little angrier.
Oh, but, I was.
But
I think I'm better off for it.
Oh, for sure. No, I'm happier than I've ever been in my whole life at this point in time. So I guess
that's good.
I guess we'll figure out and I think Hugo is too. I think Hugo's in a really good place.
And I whenever we get a comment from someone else today too that was like, "Why do you even waste your time doing this?" Well, for one, it's our job,
right? But even if it wasn't our job 6 months ago.
No.
So it's a labor of love. We enjoy the show. We enjoy you guys for the most part. We enjoy the process. We like an excuse to hang out, which was what it used to be when we lived apart, and we also like the topic.
Yeah, I find the Bible interesting.
I love reading the Bible.
I don't think it's factual, but it's interesting.
Absolutely, and obviously Hugo and I read it for different reasons, but I started reading it because I was interested in the history and the culture of the people that wrote it.
Yeah.
And Hugo has more of an intimate relationship with religion. So it's just, I don't understand this sort of critique on us specifically.
You might as well ask why anyone does anything.
Right. Like, why are you a woodsman? Well, I like being in the woods.
Even when you're talking about critique, why do you critique movies you don't like? Because it warrants critique. That's what critique is for. It's for talking about things.
And the last movie we reviewed, we gave a 7. That was Passion of the Christ. We gave a 7.
Yeah,
which is the most heavy-handed one we've had in a long time. But God's Not Dead, objectively bad film. Like no one's like, oh, that's a great fucking film that doesn't have some sort of political motivation behind it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So just like we're happy, and this is something we enjoy doing. So I don't know why you got to pretend like we're not.
This is from Passion of the Christ, the review, and we get this kind of comment all the time. Kelly Heel says, I wish they have more balls and be something like the Quran Reloaded. What a weird way to say that, but you get what she's saying.
Yeah.
But obviously Christianity is the only religion in their world. We've talked about it before. We're doing the Quran Reloaded. We're doing it.
We are so doing the Quran Reloaded, but it's a logistical thing at this point, and we want to make sure that we can get the proper upgrades in our personal infrastructure to be able to facilitate, like, 2.5 shows.
Yeah, it's a Patreon goal. We've talked about it before.
And it's more of an incentive.
It's a whole extra show we're putting on our channel.
Right, it takes work.
Yeah.
And as far as what they're saying is that no one would ever touch Islam. I know so many atheists that only talk about Islam. Like Sam Harris has made a career on bashing Islam. Well, bashing's the wrong word, although some people consider it.
No, I get it. Yeah.
But I mean, he strongly is very heavy-handed towards and against Islam, and all up on Twitter, there's lots of atheists that do that. We are very critical of Islam, and we will be reading from their holy book, and it's not a balls thing. I'm not scared of getting bombed by Muslims. No. Most Muslims I've ever met are very kind people.
I've never met a not kind one.
I've met an asshole, but it wasn't because he was a Muslim.
He's just
an
asshole. There you go.
And we live in Michigan currently,
which has some of the highest.
It has the highest Muslim population in the U.S.
Yeah, well, there you go.
In North America. So I mean, like, fuck you.
Yeah,
fuck you.
This is from our Expelled review. That one dude 917 says, do a VeggieTales movie, any of them.
I picked this one because we get VeggieTales requests all the time, and it goes along with the Bible Man thing. They're really low-hanging fruit, or veggies in this scenario.
I used to watch VeggieTales as a kid. I used to love that shit.
I mean, we might do one just as kind of a bonus at some point. Maybe we'll just put it on Patreon or something, or maybe we'll actually put it up. I have no idea, because I know Hugo's been wanting to watch one every once in a while, but
most of them are.
It's not like what can we say about it? This is an okay kid show with a shitty message.
Yeah, and even the message, it's just very standard. Like, God loves you, things like, what do you want us to say? No, he doesn't. Like, I don't believe in God, but what am I going to say about that? You can't make a show about that. Some people do, but they're bad. Yeah. So, there's not a lot we can say about VeggieTales.
Yeah.
And if you're talking about, like, Christian indoctrination, quote, kid shows, there are far better ones than that to talk about.
I think Donut Man is a better one.
Donut Man is far better.
And we get a lot of requests for Donut Man. If we're going to do one, I think it's going to be Donut Man or that one with the dancing blue book that's creepy.
That one is number 1 on my list because it's just awful. We're going to get to it eventually.
So we'll do stuff like that, but VeggieTales just doesn't appeal to me. It seems easy and cheap, and we've already said everything we could possibly say, and we're doing the stories that those are based on in the actual Bible, so it seems redundant at the same time. Pretty much. Skipping, like, we'd skip forward to like a Solomon story or something, which we're almost in, but not really
not gonna happen. Probably not. Last one, again on the Expelled video, comes from us from the Morbius Stone. These guys sound like gay, secular Jews.
Well, this guy looks like a backup bassist for Creed.
Yeah.
So, like, what's a gay, secular Jew? I know people think we're gay together, but
some do, yeah. Secular Jew is just a non-practicing Jew. Someone who's Jewish in ancestry, but not...
Like, it's just like a Jew nose and eats
think like Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, okay. I wish I was Jerry Seinfeld, because that would be very lucrative.
Him and Costanza together, they could have... Think they slipped it in every now and again?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know if Hugo and I's bromance is strong enough at this point to not succumb to some coitus. But I don't know. Maybe we are gay secular Jews and we just don't know it yet.
Maybe we'll discover that on this journey together. So
yeah, apparently we're gonna what's that journey like? We have to go do peyote in the desert and
probably
see Jim Morrison's
cousin.
We go see Jim Morrison and his cousin Tim.
Yeah, basically. So thanks, everyone. If you want to, you can follow Jake on Twitter at Bible Reloaded.
We'll talk and stuff, or you can follow Hugo at Hugo Reloaded, and he'll probably not talk and stuff.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't want to talk to most of you anyway. You can always donate to our Patreon. There's a link right there.
And as we mentioned, if we get to $1,000 on Patreon and maintain it for a little bit, we'll start pre-production on The Quran Reloaded, naysayers.
Yeah, I know. And then you can also subscribe button right there. Click it.
Unless you're already subscribed, you shouldn't.
Then don't click it, because that might unsubscribe you. I don't know how that works.
But yeah, so that's it.
Until next time, I'm Hugo.
And I'm Jake.
This has been Jake Reads Your Comments.
Number 16.
Is it 16?
Almost old enough.
I don't think it's 16. This isn't 16.
Almost
this is
old
10.
Enough. Not old enough.
No.
It was Hugo 16.
Don't fuck 10-year-olds.
No, 0.
Okay.
Unless you're 11, which you should still, but it's better. Or 9. There's a plus or minus 1 on 10-year-olds.
Okay, goodbye, everyone.